Every year when school starts, I have been cutting back on how many vlogs we do per week. I've been doing that for several years. When we started, we were doing 6 days a week, and then we cut back to 5 days a week, and then 4, and then 3. All for about the last 6 months, we've been doing 3 a week, and I am cutting back even more.
Hi guys, Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, we are going to be diving into one of the worst, if not the worst family channel ever. We are going to be talking about 8 Passengers. So some of you might know the channel, some of you might not, but we're going to be doing a pretty good collective video discussing all the problems with this channel, why this family channel is so dangerous, the things that have happened, and what ultimately has led to their downfall. So before we hop into today's video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below. My podcast, vlog channel, merch, and everything else will be linked in the description below. And yeah, let's get into it. But real quickly, I do want to talk about my absolute favorite brand for laser hair removal at home. Let's talk about Kenzie. Let's talk about Kenzie. So Kenzie is an absolutely incredible brand that has literally made my favorite at-home laser hair removal. And today we're going to be talking about the Kenzie IPL handset. So I've been using Kenzie since last December, and I use this once a week to upkeep for laser hair removal. So this handset is absolutely incredible because it helps with many things, like helping reduce acne, hair removal, or age spots and skin rejuvenation. You can see results as quickly as 2 to 3 weeks. I personally saw them very, very quickly around the 2-week period, but again, it completely varies per person. So let's talk about what you get when you actually purchase an IPL handset. So you get, again, the original handset, which is absolutely incredible. You get a long extension cord that's about 9 feet long. You get a skin tone chart guide so that you know what settings to apply. You also get a 12-month warranty and a 90-day money-back guarantee, which is an absolute awesome deal. And additionally, Kenzie is all about trying to make things as affordable as possible, so they have payment options as well if you guys really want to get a hold of this. And I'm just telling you right now, this is an absolute game changer for a gift for somebody. If they have been looking at something like this, I would get it. And you can have 1 to 3 attachments for this device depending on what you purchase for a bundle. So what in the world is IPL? So IPL means intense pulsed light, and it's a broad spectrum to treat a wider area on your body. It's non-radiating, convenient, safe, and really effective. It converts light energy to heat to treat specific areas of your body with whatever needs that you have. And each attachment that is with this handset you can use for different reasons. But again, for me, my favorite is the hair removal attachment, which I'm highlighting today. I'm gonna tell you guys right now, the main use that I use this for is for my bikini area. That was one of my biggest insecurities. I damaged my skin really badly trying a lot of other methods, which drove me crazy. So personally, I have been sticking really hard to this. Everything was smoother, and I'm not even kidding. Notice that my skin looked so much clearer and better because I wasn't breaking out down there. And what's great is I don't have to go into an office for this. I can do this all at the comfort of my own home at any time that I can, and it works amazing. You can treat absolutely all over on your body. You can do your underarms, your bikini area. You can do your face if you want. You can do your legs, arms, all of it. It's absolutely incredible. So how do you use this device? It's extremely easy and user-friendly. So what you first do, plug the cord into your device. You have this green button that's flashing in the back and press it for on. You can press this big pulse button to actually turn on the flash. You can also hold this pulse button down for 5 seconds so that way you can have automatic flashing without having to push it continuously. And then you are good to go by gliding it across your arm or any other area of your body and get to doing your laser hair removal. Again, you can see results as quickly as 2 to 3 weeks and full results at 12 weeks. Again, I saw mine very quickly, which genuinely impressed me because I have never seen results that quickly in that area specifically. I highly recommend you guys checking out the reviews on their website because the reviews completely speak volumes. And again, I have been using this for a long time now, and I genuinely love this brand. For all my viewers that are watching today's video, Kenzie was amazing and wanted to give you guys a discount code, so you guys can use the code Lanter50 at kenzie.com. That's KENZZI.com, and use code Lanter50 for $50 off of your purchase today. And then additionally, if you like, which I literally love this, they have payment plans as well. So that way it's so much more accessible and affordable because they want everyone to have access to a really awesome device that they can use at home. So thank you so much to Kenzie for partnering with me on today's video. And now let's get into it. So who is 8 Passengers? 8 Passengers was a YouTube channel that was created about a family of 8 people. It started off with just Kevin and Ruby were the 2 parents, and apparently they were more religious based, and then they just started to develop a YouTube channel from this, which I'm gonna be honest, I don't know what caused them to create this. this or start a YouTube channel, but they did. And so with that, they have 6 children, which there's honestly many different names. Some of them I really don't need to name as well. And a lot of these children are going to be blurred throughout the video because their privacy has been extremely violated throughout their lives. So the biggest problem, as you guys know, I've talked about family channels and how toxic they are, and this one is definitely a major representation of it. The 8-passenger family channel was really known for content with just vlogs, lifestyle, talking about maybe parenting, even parenting tips, how to take care of that many children, very light pranks, I would say, not really too heavy like what we see with the hardcore trends like the Ace family or other family channels have followed, but they were a little bit more of a mellow based channel that honestly was dedicated to more quote unquote religious based parenting. Honestly, to preface this, I do want to make this very clear that this is a channel that was very, very, very religious. I don't know all the ins and outs of the religion or what they were specifically, but what I can say is this is a family that we're going to be looking into that used religion for a very scary and negative way, and to the point of where it was actually using it for abuse and harm. So I want to talk about some of these scandals and issues with this entire series. Again, you guys, there's going to be a lot of clips throughout this entire video as well, because I want to visually show you what is going down and why these people should never be supported or engaged with at all, because they have genuinely used their children for horrible things. So first of all, I want to talk about the biggest issue with public embarrassment. Kevin and Ruby have multiple children, and with that, growing up, there's going to be many situations that happen to you. I mean, again, like, I can't even tell you how many times I've had an embarrassing moment or a more private moment as a kid. I know we all have. And imagine all that being completely displayed. Like, I know we've seen the Ace family, but this is on a different level. Terrifying right here. So I'm going to be talking about a couple specific situations. This first one being, they decided to actually send one of their children off to a wilderness camp for 10 weeks because he was kicked out of school allegedly. However, they were punishing him almost later, even though what he had done was a while before. So it was like they were punishing him still months after this incident had happened. So here's a clip of them actually talking about this.
Where he's going to spend the next 8 to 10 weeks living in the
Anasazi Desert.
Yeah, the desert mountains of Arizona. And he'll be out. So you're probably wondering, what did Chad do? Okay, we're not even going to entertain that stuff, but it's an accumulation of things over years, well before we ever started YouTubing or well before we ever got into social media. And it's reached, the idea is with wilderness therapy is if you can survive with these peers in the wilderness with nothing more than the clothes on your back and a couple of field supplies.
So additionally, this alleged camp, again, some of this is still kind of up in the air, so I am saying allegedly with this. I can't really approve or deny it, but there was a lot of rumors going around about how this is a very religious-based camp and how it was very negligent of the people that were a part of these camps, and that's actually something that we have seen with some wilderness camps, is some of these actually can be very harmful. I personally don't know much about these wilderness camps, I'm going to be real with you, but from what I read from other people discussing with the one that this child was sent to, mind you, he was a teenager, but still, he was sent to this one, a conversion camp, apparently. So again, that's all speculation, but that's what I was reading. Now, additionally, there's another example that's just god-awful, same child as well. He is one of the oldest children, and this son didn't have a bed for 7 months due to a prank and was forced to sleep on the floor. So what had happened was apparently he pranked the younger sibling and he was like, oh, we're gonna go to Disneyland, which, okay, let's be real here. I woke up my little brother one time and I pretended that it was time to wake up for school and it wasn't. Like, kids are gonna be messing around with each other like that. The kid wasn't hurt in any way. I get that could be mean to pretend you're gonna go to Disneyland. Literally, they took away everything in his bedroom to where he was pretty much sleeping on the floor, just cause, for months. And then phones were taken away. Even in the same actual video clip that I'm gonna show you guys, they literally are talking to another child even, and I don't even know what she got punished for necessarily, but she had her phone taken away, and Ruby is sitting here going back and forth with her children discussing, oh, well, I'm probably not gonna give your phone back, or I'm not gonna, like, the punishments are on a different level of extreme.
7 months, and then you give it back like a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think our viewers know that.
He was sleeping on a beanbag.
I've been sleeping on a beanbag since October, and they gave my room back like 2 weeks ago. Oh, I'll give you the reason why I lost my bedroom. I think so. I think this is the reason. At least this is the reason that's been in my head. It's pretty funny, but now that I look back, I mean, it's pretty depressing.
No, we never told our viewers.
That I woke Russell up at 2 in the morning and told him that we're going to Disneyland and he has to pack. And he got up and made his bed all neatly, and then packed all his clothes in a suitcase. And then he walked out the door, and I'm like, Russell, he's like, what? And he's all happy, has his sunglasses on. And I was like, we're not going to Disneyland. And he started crying and hitting me. And then he went back to bed in tears, and then.
So that was kind of phone, and it's been over a year, and I still have no intention of returning a phone. Abby, we took the phone away from Abby in November. And you may never get the phone back.
Probably.
No, I have no friends.
You can play with friends.
No, like I don't have friends.
I don't have friends either.
I literally like told my friends I'm not hanging out with them anymore
Because they're
they say some pretty messed up stuff.
I don't even know where they live. They're pretty far away.
So,
Yeah, sharing with everyone the fact that you don't have a group of friends, that's really hard. I'm sorry that you're in that situation. And I'm proud of you for cutting off with friends who make inappropriate jokes and who are inappropriate.
The fact that this is literally being displayed and almost like a family conversation that's essentially live streamed for the internet is god awful and disgusting. I can't even imagine being forced to sit there and discuss all of that stuff. So additionally, I want to talk about how a lot of these public punishments I do truly believe are a form of abuse, and the fact that even Ruby has encouraged her children, especially when they've asked them not to talk about their punishments and what they've gone through on the internet for millions, yes, millions to see, is absolutely disgusting to me. And it really blows my mind because you'd think this would violate some sort of religious beliefs that she would have with displaying this type of stuff on the internet. But apparently it made more logical sense for her to use her child as an example, have them talk about their punishments, and literally discuss how they literally don't have friends because they are not able to have friends due to the fact that they are punished so heavily. While they aren't allowed to even communicate much with the outside world, they're literally sheltered so heavily. It's just absolutely disgusting to me. Now, another situation that this one got me going. So this was a situation that I was absolutely blown away with, and I truly, truly wish something would happen over this, but because I know there's other children still in these parents' care, even though some have suddenly moved off. But there was at the time that this was filmed, their child was 5 years old. One of their children was 5. And so she was talking on a vlog about how the school called her, I guess the teacher called and said, hey, your child, the 5-year-old, does not have her lunch with her today. And she essentially, Ruby, was going on about how, well, my child is the one that's responsible for making her lunch every day. And since she forgot it and didn't bring it, then that's her own fault. And apparently the punishment for her forgetting to make her lunch as a 5-year-old is not eating. So even though the teacher was calling and saying, hey, could you bring like her lunch to school? Ruby was apparently not going to do that. Yeah. And honestly, from literally listening to some of these clips, it again gives the illusion that this has happened many times because she mentioned how apparently they brought this up at teacher conferences.
I just got a text message from Eve's teacher, and she said that Eve did not pack a lunch today, and can I bring a lunch over to the school? This happens quite often when you're raising children, because I know that her teacher is uncomfortable with her being hungry and not having a lunch, and it would ease her discomfort if I came to the school with a lunch. But I responded and just said, Eve is responsible for making her lunches in the morning, and she actually told me she did pack a lunch. So the natural outcome is she's just going to need to be hungry. And hopefully nobody gives her food and nobody steps in and gives her a lunch.
So the punishment is making your 5-year-old go hungry and not allowing someone to help them out. Disgusting. Absolutely. And again, this was displayed on the internet and she thought it was perfectly fine. She thought that she was doing what she should be doing and punishing a child. A child needs to eat. Punishing people with food is going to cause a really, really negative perspective on food, a really bad relationship with food, and it's just absolutely disgusting to me how she thought it was okay to do to a 5-year-old. Another one that I thought was very odd as well, and this is another clip I'm going to show, is she was punishing her child that, again, like, kids get into things. I absolutely know that. Again, I don't have children personally, but she was literally, again, publicly embarrassing her child on the internet for using nail polish.
That song, Dead Skin, you're gonna have to write, I'm dead now because you're in so much trouble. Look at me. You're going straight to bed and you don't get dessert today. We're all gonna go out and get a cookie.
And play a family game.
Eve, you cannot be in my room and do that. Family dinner, and I was looking and looking and looking for Eve, and I was like, why isn't Eve at the dinner table yet? She usually comes to dinner as soon as I call her. And then I go looking outside. We've been looking for 30 straight minutes for her, and I was starting to get worried. And I was like, okay, we're gonna start calling around the neighborhood, and if I can't find Eve in the next 20 minutes, I'm calling the police. And then I found this. You only got a little gist of it on camera. All of the discipline takes place off camera. But one of the consequences is she will not be getting her nails painted for a solid month. And that's like her favorite thing, is to have me do her nails. And she's gonna have to go without for a month until she learns that she's not old enough to do this yet by herself.
Again, there's other clips where the girls even are trying on different outfits and clothes, and the mom has a very odd obsession with the kids' bodies. And again, I am still referring to them as kids because in these videos they are kids, even though some of them have grown up. But like talking about like how, like always looking at their, like literally going on to be like, oh, I just want to make sure you're covered, like making them uncomfortable to where they're voicing, stop looking at me like that. Going on about even like, oh, well, you can't show your stomach, you can't show this inch of your body. And to a point where again, like it's overly controlling, and for what? Like I cannot mentally wrap my head around that.
All of my girls wear size 14. They're all different shapes though, and they're all at different levels of maturity. Poor, I even made her put on a sports bra. I'm like, you gotta put something on underneath this. This is what we found. Don't know where Julie's gonna go where this would be appropriate. And Abby found something that shows her belly here, which I am not okay.
Tag off.
I like this.
Why do you keep looking at my chest?
Because I am your mother and I just need to make sure everything you wear is appropriate. You're just a girl woman.
Keep your eyes on my eyes and go nowhere.
I'm just making sure you're covered.
Another thing I want to talk about is the showing off private moments. I know we've talked about showing off punishments, but there are other private moments as well that I think are very scary that this family has been literally displaying for years now. So this clip I'm going to show you is an actual scene of one of the children who apparently was having a conversation with a girl. I really don't know, nor do I care. Kids can have friends. However, the dad decided to do this in front of everyone at the table and take his phone and read off the messages in front of other people, and the kids were laughing at it. But again, it's not even just in front of the kids, it's in front of thousands and millions of people on the internet.
No texting.
Let me see it. Let me see it.
I see it.
We should clarify that in our house, all our kids know that cell phones are free game for parents, so we can monitor safety.
Yeah, no kid ever said, yay, I'm so glad my parents read my text messages. Said no.
What is this? Hold on.
I did not say that.
How do you work this stupid phone? I really like you. I saw you in my dreams last night.
I'm telling you, it's not her, it was her brother. Look, go down. She said,
What is the nature of your relationship with this individual? I mean, there's like 300 texts in here.
Do you like her, or do you just like her? She's a new friend.
that is really, really messy. I don't know.
Okay.
I seen him with her and he likes her.
This is serious, insane public humiliation and embarrassment. I don't even get to have a dating relationship, a friendship relationship, or anything without it being either one, okay enough for it to be exploited on the internet, or two, they're going to be embarrassed heavily and made to where they can't even have a healthy relationship. And so with this and all these other behaviors that are being displayed, I don't think they truly have an understanding of proper communication because their parents don't even teach them that. But then they have no sense of security or privacy either. And I can't even imagine growing up and having my deepest moments where I was picking out a bra, or I started my period, or I'm sick and throwing up or something, and it's on the internet. And again, speaking of, this is another situation that yes, did happen, where one of the children is literally throwing up out of the car, and what are they doing? Talking through it, discussing it, and filming it.
Smell it from here.
Chad, how many Takis did he eat?
I don't know. I didn't even know he ate them.
Can we park somewhere
I
else?
opened the Takis and was eating them, and then I went upstairs for like an hour. Ew, it's coming out of his nose.
Do we have tissues anywhere? Do you have any tissues?
No.
Happens to everybody.
Can we park somewhere else?
So you want to just throw up and then drive away?
Are we supposed to clean it up?
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is I'm literally someone who If someone is talking while I'm sick, shut up. Like, if I'm gonna throw up, do not talk. But the fact that they literally don't care and they're more filming, I honestly don't know how they haven't had any sort of child protective services come by because of this, because of how much evidence that has been put on the internet because of them. Like, it genuinely blows my mind. And again, another example that I would like to show is, again, things happen, things break, children break things on accident. Like, it's just going to happen. But again, there are so many different opportunities where the children are in a very distressed emotional state, crying, they're upset, they feel heartbroken, and what does Ruby do? Stick a camera in their face and talk about it with them and use it as a moment to fill.
This was my favorite casserole dish in the world.
If I get your name, I'll get you one, even if it's a 2001. I'll get it. And if,
Are you really crying? Russell? Oh, honey.
and if I get
Oh, honey.
and if I get your name, then
This was my favorite casserole dish, and it had a lot of meaning to me.
look at Russell.
And it's just a casserole dish, and that's not my kids.
Now, additionally, we're going to cover the topic of exploitation. Now, exploitation, of course, I think that the entirety of this channel is being exploitive of all their children, but I wanted to highlight a couple of key moments with this channel that was just very shocking, to say the least. The examples, again, children's pain, trauma, punishments, and every inch of their life is being displayed for attention. Some things were even clickbaited to where, again, it gets clicks, it gets engagement, they make insane money. And I already know completely that this family has made a lot of money off of their children, off of the emotional distress of their children, and all the other traumas included with it. So the fact that there is absolutely years and years of heavy exploitation of these children is just devastating to me. But then to further this as well, this is another thing that I thought was very odd, is using the kids as negative experiences for, again, further exploitation, because let's be real here, there are a lot of really nosy people on the internet. Now, again, okay, it's one thing to be nosy about like a house tour or like some drama, but there are people that would genuinely click on these videos out of curiosity, wanting to know about the punishments or the bad things that were happening to the kids. And I'm sorry, but I truly, with everything in my soul, believe that Ruby knew that that was going to happen, that she was aware that people were interested in the punishments and the things that were happening in her house, so she would talk about it all the time. It would get watch time, it would make her perform well, and they made stupid money off of that. Another additional thing that just blew my fucking mind was the fact that Ruby, I guess, was near or close to a car accident, and Ruby filmed it, and her literally going up to vehicles, checking on them, making sure they were okay, and then talking to her children, who again were in clear distress, were clearly freaked out, really in a very scary experience, and she used the moment to talk on her camera.
Are you okay? You're okay? I'm okay. Everyone's okay. Russell, it's okay. What happened? It's okay. Everyone's safe. It's okay.
You guys involved in the accident?
It's the sign. He took the sign out. Russell,
This was my first car crash.
and you know what? I want to tell you something, and I want you to really listen. We should have been in that crash. I don't know how we avoided getting hit, but you know what? There is not a single scratch on our car. There is not one person who got whiplash.
Exactly. So we already have so much with this dumpster fire of family channel. So now we've really talked about many things with showing off private moments, exploitation, and other things that have been very, very traumatizing for these children. I want to further talk about the other involvements with this family and what is slowly leading to the downfall of it, which thank God. Now there is something that the parents are actually a part of, which is really scary and giving me very much cult vibes. It is a page called Connections. So they are a part of a page called Connections. It's led by a woman named Jody, who has a very bad reputation for the Jody, allegedly, because she isn't someone to be trusted and has promoted very unhealthy parental perspectives and just parenting as a whole. But then of course Ruby is participating in this group and giving parental advice. This advice was all about living in truth and gives the illusion that if you aren't a perfect person, then you are bad. It gives very unrealistic expectations for children. So essentially you can't mess up, you can't have any mistakes. Like literally it is so restrictive on children, and the punishment punishments are insanely harsh and there's no wiggle room. And it blows my mind because children aren't born knowing everything. Kids don't know it all. So the fact that you're trying to, again, put this immense amount of pressure but label it as living in truth is just disgusting to me. But again, I do feel like these are these individuals that are part of the culty aspect of religion. That is something that I actually think is a very alarming thing, is where we have people who take religion and use it for a very cult-like mentality, and it's manipulative and it's abusive and it's exceptionally controlling, and it literally traumatizes people for their future. Now, I also would like to say how I'm very happy to discuss how one of the children who is currently in college right now has actually spoken out about the family, which I think is wonderful. And also some of her sisters, Ruby's sisters, apparently have been speaking out against the entire group and things that have been going on, and vocalize how Ruby doesn't even talk to her sisters anymore due to all of this. So the daughter, actually, though, I was very happy about. Sherry discussed how she isn't in contact with her immediate family and she does not support this group and things that are going on, and she hopes to have maybe a new fresh start, but with everything going on, she does not support it at all, which I'm very proud of her, and I think that's a huge step as well, because it's not very often that we see people, and again, most of the kids of family content creators are very young right now, so we haven't hit a point where we have adults who were children of these family bloggers discussing their experiences. And that's the thing too, it's going to be hard to either way, because some people are going to be too scared to talk about it because of how traumatizing it is. So 3 months ago, though, happy news, apparently that Ruby discussed how she was going to be quitting YouTube, and Ruby and Kevin discussed how they were going to be quitting YouTube, and how they pretty much realized that they knew that their main content was their children and how it was going to run out. So it looks like that they stopped and they wanted to focus more on the connections page and giving more parental advice and everything. But I'm very concerned for those kids and their experiences to still get blasted on the internet, because they are going to be used as an example of right and wrong and how they were punishing their children or being the more respectful kids. It's absolutely mind-boggling to me. And then one other thing I wanted to mention as well that I truly think is just additional stuff that you absolutely should not be supporting this family for is their outright homophobia and transphobia. So Ruby actually was on a live, and I don't know when or on what platform specifically this was going on, but Ruby discussed how essentially it was okay to be transphobic and how it's okay to essentially avoid anyone who is a part of the LGBTQ plus community because they could influence your children.
So on this website, on this Facebook page, this is something different than anywhere else you're going to get. No one else has a group where moms come together to learn principles. So she says, "Hello, fellow mothers. Thanks for all the advice so far. I saw a post below that touched on the topic of the LGBTQ community, and I wanted to share a concern I have come across within my own family. My sister's child, I would say niece because that's how I know her as, but I don't know if that's offensive or not, has come out as transgender." Okay, so right there already, this gal is writing this question and she's already gone into control. She's saying, I don't know how to talk about this. I don't know if I call her a niece. I don't know if I call her a nephew. I don't want to offend anyone. So already there's control. And you can't have truth. You can't have principles if you're in control. So that control, that I'm scared of saying anything wrong, that will preclude you from being able to see principles of truth. So this is a woman who, she has a sister, and the sister's got a daughter who has come out as transgender. My sister is a Christian, albeit more liberal and woke than my husband and I are. So we as a family are conflicted as to whether or not we should continue to spend time with them. Should we see them less or even completely cut them out of our lives? Okay, so right there, there's some more control. She's got this set up as black and white. Do I continue spending time with her, or do I cut them out of my life? That's pretty dichotomous right there. And so she's looking at it saying, what do I do? And I get it. This is a situation I'm sure many people are in, and not just because it's LGBTQ. Maybe you're afraid of bringing your kids over to a family member because they're doing drugs, or maybe you're afraid to take them over there because they use crude language, or maybe you don't want to take them over there because you know something is going on that you don't want your children to be part of. So this isn't about LGBTQ. This is about principles.
All in all, though, this entire family is a complete joke, and I genuinely feel so bad for the kids and everything that they've experienced, and the fact that this still has gone on and how this is going to have a lasting impression on these kids and how progressively it has actually gotten worse. And I know there's a lot of kids that are still in that household too, and they are getting impacted, and I can't even imagine what we saw publicly through these videos, what is happening in private that isn't being filmed. It's just absolutely alarming. It's abusive, it's horribly controlling, and it's literally setting those kids up for failure. So I feel like it's training those kids also to make them have absolutely no understanding of how to hold a healthy conversation, a good communication, healthy relationships, anything for that matter. I don't think they're going to have a real good understanding. And so there's going to be a lot of like rebellion when they get out into the real world because they're not going to know what the hell to do. And I'm very, very nervous for them. And I can't even imagine having to go through unlearning those traumatic cycles and healing from that. I wanted to talk about it and bring awareness because even though they aren't really doing YouTube anymore, it's still a huge problem. And even still, we're getting more updates of other things that are happening with this family, what they're promoting, what they're posting, and what they are teaching other parents to do as well. So that was it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay glow, my beautiful queens. Love you. Bye.